Holden's early to his date, so he sits around in the lobby and watches some girls while he waits. It's depressing, of course. Most of them are probably going to marry dopey or boring guys. Sally finally shows up looking so cute that Holden, who doesn't even really like her, feels like marrying her that very minute. This lasts until the second she opens her loud mouth to say how excited she is to see Matinee. They fool around on the way to the show, with Holden being seductive as hell. For some reason, she tells her he loves her, and replies that she does too, well, except that she wants him to grow his hair out because his current hairstyle is outdated. Anyway, they get around to actually watching the show. It's not the worst thing that he's ever seen, even if the actors are doing more showing off than real acting. At the first act, Holden and Sally go out for smokes with all the phonies and jerks who stand around and talk about the play. Sally knows one of the jerks, of course. He's an Ivy League type named George who went to Andover. He's the kind of guy like that. When Sally asks him about the play, he has to take a step back to give himself room to answer. George and Sally proceed to engage in phoniness and general name/location dropping. Holden engages in keeping himself from vomiting. By the time the show is over, they're back in the cab. Holden is fed up with her. Still, when she asks to go roller skating at Radio City, he agrees. Mostly Sally just wants to rent one of those little skating skirts, but just barely covers her butt. A cute butt, Holden concedes. But still, they're both horrible skaters, so the activity lasts only as long as Sally's ankles can take it. They go for a non-alcoholic drink. Sally wants to know if Holden is intending on coming over to help her trim the Christmas tree. They're pretty sure that the euphemism for something. He changes the subject. He wants to know if she's ever fed up with life. He's angry about people who discuss how many miles per gallon their gas gets, about the phonies at his boarding schools and their social cliches. Finally, he asks Sally to run away with him. He wants to drive up to Massachusetts and Vermont and live in a log cabin together. Sally basically rolls her eyes and says there will be plenty of time for such escapades after college. Then he says, "You give me a royal pain in the ass." After this, she, quote unquote, hit the ceiling and wouldn't accept anything from him, even his profuse apologies. She's even crying, which makes him feel awful. When she refuses to let him take her home, Holden starts laughing. Holden wonders to himself why he asked her to go live with him in a log cabin, since he's not exactly his ideal girl. But he admits that he meant it when he asked her, "Is he crazy?"